Yeah, I think the IG thing is separate from in my mind, it's two separate issues. Specifically on the prosecutors, I actually think it's pretty reasonable for the president, who was just elected, to not want people in his government that he runs who were just most recently trying to put him in jail. I mean, it seems like common sense to me that it wouldn't be right to force the president to run a government, at least which in part has been recently trying to jail him. I grant you that nothing wrong may have happened, that they may have done everything correctly, but still, he got elected. This is a government of the people that elects the president. It's not a government of the career prosecutors. And so I think for now, it's fine that they're not in the government. When he's not the president, and if they want to come back, I'm not sure I would have a problem with that. But I do think it's reasonable for the president to believe that the entire executive branch is, rowing in the direction that he sets as the duly elected president. But it's a department of the executive branch. The president appoints the attorney general. It works for the president,
but
does it not?
But the Department of Justice does not work for the president.
Yes,
the Department of Justice works for the American people.
No, it works for the executive branch. It's in the Constitution. It exists in the executive branch.
The lawyers of
you're acting like it's an independent branch of government. It's in the executive branch, run by the president.
I mean,
Look, this was adjudicated by the American people in November. At this point, they looked at all of this and decided to put Donald Trump back in the White House. And just back on this personnel matter, just Article 2, all executive authority is vested in a president of the United States, not in career prosecutors, not in some imaginary separate agency that you think exists outside of the executive branch. There's one executive branch, there's one president, all of this exists underneath him. Period. End of story.
It's because you're right. The numbers were already down historically. They were less when Joe Biden was in office than when Trump was in office. So it's really all for show right now. And while I understand that this is something that he ran on,
by the way, no amount of berating me about this is going to change the fact that the American people literally just voted for this.
You're right.
They want the criminals out. They want the violent people out. And there's really not much of a controversy about it.
I mean, there's a couple of things that have been said that I think are inaccurate or out of context. One of which is the idea that it was just as good under Biden. That is patently false. Biden belatedly, at the end of his presidency, did some things through executive actions that the last 6 months made the numbers look better.
I didn't say it was just as good. I didn't say it was just as good under Biden.
I said the numbers were lower under Biden when Biden left than when Trump was in office, and that is a fact.
No, over four year to 4 year. 4 year to 4 year.
When Biden left,
4 year to 4 year. Who had a better record?
The New York Times.
Let me hold on, Maria, hold on. I want the governor.
The New York Times, which is no conservative publication, did investigative reporting not long ago that looked at the Biden administration and concluded that the number of illegal immigrants that President Biden led into this country was the largest number of illegal immigrants in the history of the country, bar none. New York Times.